Hello and welcome back. I'm Deirdre and this is episode 7 of moving into my new apartment, downsizing and ongoing decluttering as I get rid of the excess things that I brought from the big home. I haven't bought as much as I thought I had, well, in terms of excess, well, so far anyway. There are certain things that are going to go. I've sort of decided, right, some lamps can go. There's an ottoman that would go, but I wasn't even using that before. There are a couple of coffee tables, small ones, that I think can go. They're actually not here. They're still being stored at a friend's. She's away. But mostly the things that I have to get rid of at the moment are the big things like the plastic crates and things that I have used for storage and for transport. I've made a big stack of those and I will give them to a donation centre this week. I've also made a pile of quilts and blankets that I will donate to a local charity who have a drive going for people who are cold, who are living in their cars, who are living home, who are homeless, and also just for people and families who can't afford to heat their homes because of the electricity prices. They're very high, and because of that there are a lot of cold people out there, so they're asking anyone who has excess of anything warm, please donate it and help to keep a family warm. So I thought, right, I can make at least a big basket or a big box for that, so I've been doing that as well. Around the apartment I haven't actually done very much. I've done a little bit. I've been doing things like sorting out the drawers, for the cutlery and for things in the kitchen that, I never wanted to have a junk drawer, but I had just some of the things I had just tossed in. So I've sorted those out now, I've got that organised, and I finally have some lamps. So I'm feeling much more at home in that respect because I don't like to use overhead lights. I find it very harsh. I always flip my home with lamps. So back there you can see some lamps. Yes, the wall is still brown, but it feels more like me now, which is rather nice. And I've been organising some of the cupboards so that I have, now I have a linen area. It's not worth being seen yet, but, at least it's getting there. I have space for tools. I have space for those household things that, the cleaners and the vacuum cleaner and the broom and all those things. My laundry is still a problem because my old washing machine doesn't fit in the space allocated for washing machines. So it's perched out sort of into what should be an area where I could have some storage. And it's a bit of an issue, but I think what I'll do is I'll put it up for sale and buy a smaller front-loading washing machine, and that will fit in that space. So that's something I have to do in the weeks ahead. No panic at the moment. I can still do my washing. It's still easy. But what I did do earlier was get rid of my dryer. And for the moment, I'm trying to live without a dryer and just air drying my clothes. So I hope I can continue to do that. It's a good economical thing, but it's also, quite good for the planet. And I love the concept of air drying clothes, and especially on sunny days. It seems such a waste. So I will attempt to stick to that. And right now I don't have anywhere to put a dryer until I get a smaller washing machine. So it's all on the maybe anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to show you, I've got sort of about half of my living space is looking really good. Well, it's looking the way I sort of want it to. Well, to be honest, I think most of my living space, apart from the fact that I haven't got art up on the walls, I just haven't got there. As I said, it's it's one of these things you do down the track, and I haven't wanted to start drilling into the wall to put anchor points in on the weekends because there are families around and little children having nap time and things, and so I want to do that on Wednesday. So because I had to actually get up my drill, and because it's the brick wall, so I have to put masonry anchor points in. I can't just use this wonderful tap in the nail and it works. No, I can't do that here. So there are quite a few things to sort out like that. And I've decided to go back to my list. Here's my coffee, here's my list, this is what I'm going to do today. Because it keeps me really on focus. Some of the things that I'll put on the list will be, paint the buffet over here behind me, that's got to be painted white, paint the top of the table white, that's also behind me. That'll be another day. There'll be more ongoing organisation and more decluttering, I think, because while I make no attempt to be a minimalist, that is just not ever going to be me. I love books too much and I like things around me. I'm happy to own that. I do want it to be as clear as possible in a smaller space, so that's it's like everyday minimalism. well, yeah, it's not going to be minimalism, but it's going to be everyday, clear and decluttered and tidy. And I want to have that easily worked out for me. So right now I'm going to just show you what I've done in the living room, which isn't a lot because I haven't put things on the wall, but at least I've got lamps up and I can feel at home, and you know, it's going really well. So here's the living room, pretty much as it was before. I have my nice plant in the corner on its fabulous new tripod, so it's up nice and high, and you can see the evening set in. But over here, lots of reflections. But just behind the sofa, I've put a few little things on the table. This needs a candle in it, and coming around to here, and you can see I have my lamps up. Finally, I have lamps over here. One of the things that will go on the list will be painting day, when I will paint this buffet white, and I think I'm going to paint the top of this table white simply because I want it to disappear, or maybe just a very light grey like this chair, which is one of my favourites. It was a $10 find for 2 of them. So yes, I think this works quite nicely. I do still obviously want to paint that wall, and that will be also on the list. And I now have a great pile of painting things blocking up my hallway. And in the kitchen, yes, everything is just perfectly easy now, and I've finally got, yes, I've got to move my internet. It's taking up valuable space, but finally my cutlery drawers now look like I live here again, which is great. I cannot bear being disorganised, so everything's back to being normal for me, and increasingly every day just feels a little bit more like home. So the ponies are up, that always makes me happy. There are a few things around. I've put some of my glass out now, and always candles. So between having my night on the wall and some of my pretty glass out and candles out, my sofas and rugs, it's home for me. So I'm going to revive the list so that I give myself a bit of structure and get myself underway. I think that will be a Wednesday job, so I'll try to bring you a new episode every Wednesday and every Saturday. That's what I'm looking at the moment. It will depend a little bit on what I'm doing and the work that I'm currently doing. I will talk to you about that when I can. I can't quite talk to you about that, but it's an interesting project that I'm looking at the moment. And apart from that, if you'd like to follow along, I'm going to be here again, so don't forget to subscribe. And there's the playlist of the decluttering days. You take care, whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.